Hey guys, welcome back to another live. Thank you guys so much for coming back to another live. If you guys are here this morning and not live, I do apologize. My battery ran out. I was on the road and I wasn't able to complete that. But nonetheless, we're here. We're going to be having a very, very, very productive conversation as usual. We're going to be talking about getting a work permit approved the same day. We're going to be talking about the AIP. We're going to be talking about the rural renewal stream. Tons and tons and tons of content that we're going to be talking about today. If you guys are new here, you know what to do here. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button as soon as you come into the stream, and hit that share button. Many of you guys have asked for this content today. Hopefully, I see you guys on the stream and interact with me as well. But today, I'm not by myself. I am with Colleen. Colleen is a Jamaican who migrated to Canada this year, a couple months ago, actually. And she's living in the beautiful province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And we're just going to be having conversation together just to make sure that we're giving information from different perspectives. The inner thing, welcome to the live. Thank you for being here. Guys, I'm home today. We're not usually live in the middle of the day. So many of you guys might not be seeing this live until it's broadcasted afterwards. But nonetheless, the persons who are here, thank you for being here. It's an holiday here in Canada. Banks are closed in most provinces. Some offices are closed. And if you're in Newfoundland, like Colleen is, the schools are closed. Everything is closed. So I am home, but not at work. No complaints on my end. But yeah, we're here today just hanging out. Colleen, welcome back to another live. How are you doing today? Your mic is muted, Colleen. We can't hear you. Hear you.
Will I talk to you?
Yeah. Well, go on. How are you doing today, Colleen?
Thank you so much for having me. Today's a good day. I'm on the sick side, so not so good, but good that I'm home. So I'm
Yeah.
down with the flu, but I've missed so many of your lives. I wasn't about to miss this one too. So sickly, am I lazy? I'm here. So yeah, but apart from that, absolutely wonderful day I'm having so far. Thank you for asking. How about you?
I am not too bad. But what I can't overlook is how much you're glowing on the stream right now. It seems like there's a glow around you. You're looking so beautiful today. I just want to say that
Nice. Thank you.
if you didn't tell us that you weren't feeling well, we would not have guessed, right? So thank you for being here, Colleen. We always appreciate your feedback and all of those lovely things. So Colleen, since that you're here, how long have you been in Canada again? Remind the persons who are new here.
I've been in Canada for 5 months and 2 days now.
5 months and 2 days,
Yeah.
precisely.
Yes.
How is it going?
It is absolutely wonderful. I was sitting down, or I've been sitting down days upon days trying to figure out, did I regret coming to Canada now? Is it there's some can I find one thing that I'm really upset about that I would want to go home? I'm still looking, so it's a good day. It's a good
Yeah,
place. It's a good 5 months.
that's good. And you are here with your family, your two kids and your husband. You came through the AIP, which is the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. And you came straight to Newfoundland, right? Now, just a little background about that program. What can you share about that program?
Well, the thing is that it's no longer called the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program because it's now permanent. So the pilot is out of it. Pilot is just because of temporary, but now they have found that it's a
Oh, okay.
successful program. So they have made it permanent on March 6, 2022. So it's now the Atlantic Immigration Program, aka AIP. So no more pilots, just to
No
get
more
that
pilot.
out there.
So that
No more
means,
pilots.
if you guys are not familiar with what the Atlantic provinces are, it is Newfoundland and Labrador, where Colleen is. It's New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Islands, right? Now, Colleen, I know you were talking to us the other day, and you were telling us that you had to get a car because where you moved to, there was no transportation because it was such a remote community. But do you think there was value in moving to that remote community at first?
I wouldn't say it is remote. I just believe, based on conversation with other people,
Yeah,
that everybody drives. It's like, what uptown place in Jamaica where no bus nothing because nobody up there to take bus. So well, it's really just that nobody takes a bus. They do have a bus system that they started multiple times, but nobody
mm,
takes it. So being here, I think, based on my experience and what persons tell me, that it is a very good place. It's the best. Even St. John's has worse weather than us. I've been here and I took a ride to St. John's, which is 20 minutes away and the capital of Newfoundland. When I went to St. John's, it was like white like chalk and cold, and I'm like, why? I'm like, I just left sun at home, and when I came back, there was sun. But I've been told that St. John's has worse weather than CBS, which is where I live. I don't regret moving here at all. I was contemplating that even on my journey. I was thinking that maybe I should live in St. John's because more Jamaicans are in St. John's. There's
yes,
a bus system in St. John's and so forth. But I don't regret coming here. I think it was the best decisions that I've made for my family to move to this particular location. I love my community car. It's just when you come, get a car because you can move around with a car. You can get to St. John's in 20 minutes with a car.
yeah.
So I would definitely suggest that persons, you can come here because it's really not remote, but there's no bus. Just get a car, and that will allow you to move around quickly and easily.
How has how has your life been impacted or changed since you have moved to Canada?
Hmm. Changed? Well, let's start at driving. Obviously, there's no bus here. I've lived in Jamaica for 40 plus years. And every year, me I buy one vehicle at Jamaica. Every year, I'm like, oh, for this birthday, I'm gonna get myself a vehicle. I never own a vehicle in Jamaica. I tried, but I came here and I got a vehicle within 3 months of coming here. I mean, my buy it cash. It's
Yeah,
not one of those new vehicles. It's a 2012, but I could have buy it cash and put one little money in it, pay to fix it and get it passed, and I eat me and drive around. So that would be an accomplishment to me because I've tried for 20 odd years to get a vehicle in Jamaica and it just never worked out. And I came here and within 3 months I had a vehicle. Not only that, my son who works at one of those fast food places have
yeah,
a car too. He was able to work and buy a car within 2 months. So come on, talk to me.
yeah. Colleen, I see a message in the chat right now. The person says, they are the mother of Colleen. I'm wondering if this is your mother. Is this a
Oh,
Lola?
Lola Sargent is my mom and my
Re-
dad.
Really?
Sorry, she's a single mom, so I sometimes say she's my mom and dad. But yes,
Did
that's
you,
my
let me,
mommy.
Colleen, based on the comments, do you know that I have met your mom when I was a child going to Christian school?
I believe you. She's the one who was asking me about you, and she said, "Whoa, I think I might
What
know him."
girl?
Yeah, Auntie Shirley out of Christian school. Anybody wanna know she don't know nobody.
Yeah, because when I was going to primary school, like she used to sell at the front of the school, and
Yep.
that was like as a child, like way back before 2001. And look at us now, without even knowing that we are. That's crazy.
Yep. Yep. Totally. Yep.
That's amazing. Um, but I don't know. Let me just take a second to bless up everybody in the chat right now. Lola, thank you so much for commenting. Thank you for giving birth to Colleen. And thank you for all those wonderful memories as well. All the persons I see, Jeffrey, Sue, the inner thing, Jamroll music, blessings, blessings, blessings. I know some of you guys might be at work right now. Some of you guys might be at school. Some of you guys might, just be home chilling, whatever it is, wherever you are. I just want to say welcome and thank you. Now we're gonna put a little break on the AIP and Newfoundland conversation, and I'm gonna just share a little bit about how you can get your work permit approved the same day. Now, in truth and in fact, this is really in regards to flag polling. Now, flag polling is the act of going through the border and coming back at the same time and applying for your permit directly at the border. Now, you can do this if it is that you have an approved LMIA job offer, if you have recently graduated school and you want to apply for your postgraduate permit, if it is that you're the spouse or dependent child of a person who is studying, working permanent of, of Canada, you can do flag polling and you get your work permit approved the very, very, very same day. So that's something that you guys can look into if it is that you're in Canada and you want to convert your visitors visa to a work permit. You don't necessarily have to go through the entire process of application and all of those things. You can simply just get your LMIA approved job offer and use that, go to the border, and then get your work permit the same day. Guys, so of course we've been doing our streams on StreamYard now, which gives us the opportunity to add persons to the stream. So I'm just gonna pop the link in the description in the chat box, sorry. So if anybody who's on the stream right now want to come in, join our conversation, share your journey, whether you're in Canada, whether you're thinking of coming to Canada, or if it is that you just want to ask myself a question or even Colleen a question, feel free to come into the stream. You don't have to turn on your camera. You can come on with or without camera. That's totally up to you. The link is right in the comment section right now. Okay, Colleen, are you still here? Unless Colleen is talking and her mic
Yes,
is
I'm
off.
still here. Yes, I'm still here. My you see, I'm not tech savvy to an extent, so my AirPods fell out of my ears, but they're so touchy that it disconnected it. So I'm trying to get it back. So I'm still
That's
here.
That's okay. Guys, if you're here in the stream and you haven't smashed that like button as yet, just take a second, smash that like button. If you're here and you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Share the stream as well. Share the stream so that other persons can know that we're live and be a part of the conversation, right? So we're chatting with Colleen about the AIP. We're talking about the work permit process, talking about LMIA. We're talking about the rural renewal stream. There's so many things that we're getting covered in this information session, packed information session right now. Also, if there's anybody in the comments, as I said, if you're on the stream right now, feel free to click on the link, come on in with or without your camera, share your journey, share your experience, what it is like for you having migrated, moved to Canada, or in the process of coming to Canada, so that other persons can benefit. I believe that if we share, other persons can benefit. And that's the main reason why we decided to start this channel, start this platform, so we can share our journey so that other persons can know that, hey, it's possible for you guys to migrate as well. And B, this is how we do. This is how we did it. So when you get a real life example, it's easier to follow. So that's what I would say where that is concerned. Um, Aliyah, lifestyle, live chat, blessings, blessings, blessings. Good to see you. And Jamura Music, encourage others to reel them. So I appreciate that 100%. Lola says, you're welcome, Dems. Yo, it's such a smile world. I cannot believe that you actually is Colleen, man. Like, it's such an amazing life journey. Just like, oh, small the world is. That's amazing. Yeah, enough respect to all the persons who are here. I said that in like so many times, but I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel and being present. Right, where it's the middle of the day. It's now 11:27 a.m. here in Alberta. Um, I know that it's 12:27 in Jamaica. It's almost 3 o'clock in Newfoundland. So many different time zones right now. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right. Colleen, are you still here?
I'm here.
Okay, good. I get the earphone started.
No, I'm just go on with it same way.
Oh yeah, bounce it without it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
You mentioned that in Jamaica you wanted to buy a car, but you weren't able to buy a car. You came to Canada within 3 months. You were able to buy a car. So would you safely say that um, you're in a better position in Canada than you would have been in Jamaica?
I would safely say that my family and I are in a better position than we would have been in Jamaica or than we were in Jamaica. Yes.
And are you working a top job or just a regular middle income job, and you can feel the difference in Canada compared to the same job in Jamaica?
It's middle, I would say. I'm an early
Okay.
childhood educator. And I'm thinking that I'm seeing the difference here and in Jamaica with the same type of job. I'm seeing better here than in Jamaica. And that's just my experience, of course. I can only speak for myself.
Yes. And I'm gonna ask you a very interesting question now, Colleen. So a lot of persons on the live right now want to migrate to Canada, but they don't know how to do it. Now you were able to apply for a job in Canada from Jamaica, and that was what opened the door for you to migrate to Canada. How did you do it?
Well, I just did my research. I researched. I'm someone who I can't bother with the word of reading, but Canada taught me how to read and how to check all the I's and all the T's and so forth. I just went on because the thing is the program is there, but I wasn't looking for it. But my friend who came up on the program told me about the program, and I said, okay, I will just read upon it and see if I want to do it. So I went to the Canadian website, IRCC website, and of course, that's where all the information is. I went there, I read. I'm going to write down questions I think we need to ask, and I asked them and so forth. And so I did the process from the IRCC website. I went to the job bank, I found a job, and so forth. So I basically just went to the Canadian website after hearing about the program and did my research and made my application.
Did you use an immigration consultant?
No, I did not. I did not have the money for that. Thank you.
Well, I understand because I didn't have it either. So pretty much what you're saying is it's very possible for somebody else to do the same thing. Because if you did it, somebody else can do it too, right?
Yes. And bear in mind as well, Dems, that when I became overwhelmed with all the documentation, all the things that I needed to do, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna call a lawyer. And I called an immigration lawyer in Jamaica. And they were, you need to do a consultation and so forth. I said, I know what program I'm going to do already. I just need to know how much it will cost for you to help me to submit the documents. When the
Mm-hmm.
people them tell me 4,500, I said 4,500 Jamaican. She's like 4,500 US dollars for your family of four. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you a call back. Thank you. No, 4,500 US dollars to submit my documents. After I knew what I was eligible for already, it's just to
Already,
submit the document that was $4,500. That's even more than what IRCC charges for your
yeah.
submission of permanent residence. So yeah.
Yeah, as Jamura Music said just now, that's straight robbery.
Yep.
That's straight robbery. To do something that you can do by yourself, you ended up doing it on your own.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy. Now the Atlantic Immigration Program, I know it's very similar to the Rural Renewal Stream, which I did a video on it yesterday. Hopefully you guys can go and check out that video. I went into detail exactly what is expected and required in that stream. But the AIP is very similar, where as long as you get a valid job offer underneath the program for a
Mhm.
participating employer, that can be your ticket for permanent residency. But once you get your provincial nomination, you're able to
Yeah.
apply for a work permit that brings you to Canada. You can start working while you wait on your permanent residency application to come through. So that's something that you guys can look into. Now, the Atlantic provinces again are Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, and Prince Edward Islands. I know it's not as glamorous as the Ontarios, the British
Mm.
Columbias, but ultimately it is giving you an opportunity to come to Canada to change your life. Similar to Colleen has changed her life, right? So
It
Canada is
might
big.
not be as glamorous, but coming from Jamaica, it's glamorous enough.
Exactly. You're able to live comfortable, you're able to pay your bills, you're able to live a peaceful life. The quality of life is A1.
Yep.
Now, Colleen, somebody's asking, Latisha is asking, how long did your PR take to process?
All right, so my PR took, I just don't want to say how long it took. So I applied for my PR in December, so December 2nd, 2022, and it was approved March 24, 2023.
So that's
How much
literally
month?
3 months.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the permanent resident application submitted on the 2nd of December, approved on the 24th of March. Yeah.
Did you apply for the provincial nomination first?
I applied for the endorsement through the province on, let me see, that was on the 18th of August. I applied
Okay.
for um the endorsement. And so the endorsement came through on the 23rd of August. So like, ooh, a week or so.
A week.
But then I
That's
did submit a work permit, because just like the rural program, you
mm-hmm.
can submit a work permit. So you get two letters, one for work permit
Yeah.
and one for permanent residence. I applied for the work permit. And then once I applied for the work permit, I had 90 days after that to submit the permanent residence. So I did get approved for a work permit, also the permanent residence. But I used the permanent residence to come up here because it was already approved.
Exactly. Why would you come on a work permit when I get fully legal? You understand? Um, what would you say is the most culturally what do I say that you found to be more shocking when you moved to Newfoundland, like culture shock? What did you find most shocking?
What I found most shocking, sorry, was in my job. Like, I am an early childhood educator. I worked as a basic school teacher in Jamaica before, and of course, you know the school system in Jamaica, where teachers will wear spike heels, stocking, like a skirt, pencil skirt, and all that nice stuff, and the students will have to wear their uniform and so forth. Well, when I went to school at work and I saw a teacher in a shorts, I was shocked. I was like, no, me, I forgot to take a picture of this. I did actually take a picture, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this it's shorts, like not just a knee shorts, it was really short. And a
yeah.
t-shirt. It was summer. And I was shocked. Belly skin, like this is not allowed in Jamaica. So that was really shocking for me because I thought they would have been wearing like, like a sweatpants and them t-shirt. It
Yeah.
was a short.
So yeah, in a nutshell, I can absolutely see how that could be a culture shock, especially some of the students as well. Some of the things that they wear to school. Some of them is very revealing. Some of them is very casual. There's no way in Jamaica they would be able to do anything like that. For
Yep.
example, like there's so many things that the students have to be. You can't even express yourself through your hair, through your
No.
different things in Jamaica. We know that. But here it's a totally different culture where not much emphasis is placed on stuff like that.
Dress Yeah, so dress code was a total shock for me. I mean, I know there were things that were different, but I thought that was extreme coming from Jamaica. Like, come on. It was
And how
extreme
does your
for me.
kids, how does kids like the fact that they don't have to wear uniforms anymore?
Well, I only have one son going to school and he's elated. Like, this kid is wearing slippers and socks to school and is comfortable in that. Because sometimes when I drop him off at school and I see the students in pajama pants and it's not pajama day,
Yes.
or the bed slippers. Jamaica know bed slippers. They're wearing that to school as if it's nothing. Like, come on, it's just so. But he likes it because he's comfortable to wear what he wants to wear.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So the inner thing is asking, Colleen, did you get your job before you started the process?
Yes, I did get my job before. Because what I did was I went to the job bank because you do have to get a job. It's a job specific program. So you have to get a job. So when I went online and I applied for the job, I received notification. Of course, you have to ensure as well that the employer is designated. So there is
Yeah.
a list on Newfoundland's website that tells you the persons or employers that can employ you through this program. So if you see their name on it, then they're a good fit. So when I found the job and I looked on the list, I did not see this person's name on it. So I said to her, she asked me how I wanted to come, and I told her the AIP program. And she said, okay, I'm not yet designated, but I will be by the end of the week. As soon as I'm designated, I will send you an offer of employment. And that's what she did. So she wasn't designated yet at the time that I got the job offer. But of course, has to be designated, but employers are willing to be designated for you.
Yes. Now, two things, Colleen, and I'm going to allow you to answer these two questions back to back. The first question is, do you think there is a need for more persons to come to Newfoundland where you're at? Do you see potential for new immigrants? And the other one is, what tips would you give to somebody who is thinking of going through this program but they don't know how to connect with an employer?
All right. So do I think that there's potential? Look here, you have to ask me the question them one by one. I'm not so young again. So anyway, first the first question you asked was, do I think there's potential?
Yes.
Absolutely. And like I said, on the um on the designated list, there's a list of employers. And I mean, like, talk about fast food chains. I don't know. Yeah, you guys, you must know Mary Brown's. Mary
Oh,
Brown's is a top.
my favorite.
They are top employers on the Atlantic Immigration Program. Tim Hortons, these are people who look for international workers. So there's a long list of employers. All you have to do is to check your knock code. So it depends on where you fall. You might not be able to get a job based on the fact that you might be in a profession that is not hiring. But
Mm-hmm.
fast food is one of the high ones. Early childhood educators is another one because there is a shortage of early childhood educators here, and employers are always looking for early childhood educators. Even since I'm here, people go as quick as they come. So always work for ECEs, fast
Mm-hmm.
food chains, anybody doing in that field, fast food, and so forth. So there's potential, there's work for people to do. It's just if the employers are designated or willing to give you a job.
Mm-hmm. So question as well. The other part of the question was what tips you'd give to somebody who wants to um, participate in this program. Like, where should they start?
Well, what tips I would give them is start on the IRCC website. Because the IRCC website tells you everything you need to know about the program as an employee. Tells you what you need to get done. For example, I'm an early childhood educator. I need to get my um work hours in. You need work experience has to be 1,560 hours within the last 5 years. So if you're
Oh,
employed
within the last
within
5 years.
within the last 5 years, yes.
Whoa, because with the rural renewal stream, it's 12 months within the last 18 months.
Exactly. I remember you said that. So yes, it is within the last 5 years, and it can be part-time or full-time. For me, I showed 2 years worth of part-time experience. So if it's 1 year full time, that's fine. If it's 2 years part time, or you don't have to do it continuously. So, say for example, 2019 you did a year, but it was part time, and then 2020 you didn't have anything done because COVID come. 2022 something starts up for you again, and you did a year, then you can put that in. That would be 2 years or 15, 60 hours of the work experience you need within the last 5 years. So first place to go is the IRCC website to see what you need to check your eligibility to find out if can I do this based on what is needed. Once it is that you find out if you're eligible, then you can start seeking jobs on the Canadian Job Bank. I mean, you can go on Indeed too, but or you can, if you have a LinkedIn profile, then you can go that route. But my job was found on Job Bank, so I can speak highly of Job Bank.
I got a question for you, Colleen, and this is my question that I think a lot of persons are gonna want to know. So some of the programs in Canada, it's fine that they ask for experience, but some of these programs ask for qualification as well. Like you have to have a bachelor's, whatever the case may be, based on the stream. Now, for the AIP, what is the basic entry level qualification for the program?
For the program, the entry level would be like a high school diploma. So, like for me, I just needed an high school diploma, and an early childhood educator. So it's not far to reach. Like it's just like the rural renewal program thing that you
Yeah,
mentioned. You don't need to have a master's. You don't need to have a big bachelor's and this and that.
yeah.
You just need a high school diploma.
So if like do you need like kind of repetitive but like your early childhood educator with experience, do you need any qualification in the field you're applying for outside of experience?
You do not need qualification in the field. So the experience is most important. So if you have a diploma, well, for me, I have a diploma in early childhood education, but I did a Canadian course. So I'm kind of like, I'm different because I did a Canadian um course
Mm-hmm.
in early childhood. So I did not have to do a Westing. But what, for example, my friend, she's from the Philippines and she did not have certification in early childhood. She was a secondary education teacher. So she had her master's and whatever in secondary teaching. And that's what she used as her qualification to get this. But she also mentioned that she did do some work in early childhood. So the work experience would be most important as opposed to the qualifications. Because, like I said, you just need high school diploma. So, high school diploma, you don't need to have any masters in education to be an early childhood educator.
And it's the same thing with the rural renewal stream. Like whatever job you get, the biggest thing is it has to be within a designated community, and the employer has to be a part of the stream. As long as you get a job offer and you show that you have 12 months experience within the last 18 months under the rural renewal stream, you don't have to be qualified. You don't have to have any form of certificate or anything in the respective field to get through, right? So there's been so many different ways that's happening right now that people can benefit from, right? And we are talking from a factual, real life perspective. This is a Jamaican, Colleen, who did it by herself, migrated to Canada by herself by finding her own job, doing her own application because she couldn't afford the $4,500. She's now here as a permanent resident. Her family is here, her husband is here, her two kids are here, and they're doing wonderful. Myself, you guys know my story already. So it's very possible for you guys to do it also. That's my point. It's not very complicated, it's very straightforward, but a lot of the provincial programs has to do with it's job specific. You have to find a job before you are really eligible to apply for the program. And finding a job sometimes is the hard part. And
Yep.
I know sometimes it's hard, but I think everyone or a lot of persons are looking at the same places, and that makes it harder. That makes it tougher. I think you guys should start looking on some places that you have never heard about, some places where no one is looking into. Like we have like the last couple lives I did. I spoke to Keisha, who's in the Northwest Territories. We're speaking to Colleen now. She's in Newfoundland. These are places that are in dire need of people. There's such a chronic labor market shortage in these places, but everybody wants to go to the popular place. So what happened? Demand and supply. The fittest of the fittest will get through. An employer can pick, choose, and refuse. But when there's a community of 50,000 people and there's not enough teachers, there's not enough nurses, there's not enough construction workers. There are programs in place that people can benefit from. Like that's my rant. That's my rant. I'll leave it there and I say, guys, if you're here and you're learning anything from this live, please smash that like button. It really helps the stream out. It takes only a second. Please like the live. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And please interact in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. And also, if you have a question, if you guys want to come into the stream, whether you want to just share your journey or ask a question, feel free to do so also. The link is pinned in the comment section right up top. Just click on it. You can come in with or without your camera, and we can have a conversation. Okay, with that being said, Colleen, was it hard for your husband to find a job?
No, it wasn't. He came as a permanent resident. He had
Mhm.
experience in different fields, construction, carpentry, which is still in construction. But all he had to do, and this is what he did actually, was to just walk around with resumes in hand and just handed out resumes. And he just went to, I think he went to two places to hand out resumes. And when he was on his way back home, he saw this place and he was like, I wonder what they did over there.
Yeah.
And when he walked over there, they did woodworking, which is what he's not trained in it, but Jamaicans, we're gonna find stuff to do and we always are good
Yeah.
wherever. So we don't need training. We just put we hand to work and we work. So he just walked over there and he asked for the manager and they said, "Oh, you can just walk up to the office." And he just walked up there, gave his resume, and the Monday morning he started working there. Yeah.
It's so easy to find a job.
Yeah.
It's so easy to find a job. Colin, very interesting question for you. Did you have to show financial proof for the program?
Absolutely. For proof of funds to IRCC, I showed $6,183 for my family of four. That's the proof of funds required.
$6,000.
Yeah, 6,183 Canadian dollars. That's it. For four
That
people.
that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Colleen.
Yeah,
Less than $7,000.
absolutely.
And it's a
Go
family
on
of
the
four.
IRCC website. It's there.
I'm
Unless
just
they
making sure that the
raised
persons in the
it.
back.
It's there.
I'm just making sure the persons in the back is listening, because you have similar programs. Even in Ontario, you have the Rural and Northern Pilot Program, which is very similar to the Rural Renewal Stream and the Atlantic Immigration Program. Designated communities, designated employers, endorsement letters, etc., etc., etc. But the proof of funds that you have to show in Ontario is in excess of 12,000 Canadian dollars. But to
Yep.
Newfoundland, a family of four is less than $7,000.
This is for the Atlantic Immigration Program. And yes, what is inner thing? 6 grand? Yes, I'm sure. Check it out on the website. Check it out, IRCC website. Select immigrate, select Atlantic Immigration Program, and check under the field for international workers or skilled workers and students. And you will find it there, proof of funds. Check
Hey,
it out.
Come like Africa move, come over Newfoundland, can lock it down.
It is a way in, I can tell you that for sure. It is a way in, and it's an affordable way in. So
Mm-hmm.
once you have the experience needed and you can find a job, you're on your way.
On your way. And just a little background of Newfoundland, guys. So what happened in the past is a lot of persons left Newfoundland because there was not enough opportunities there. So a lot of persons left Newfoundland for places like Alberta. I know quite a few Newfies here in as they're affectionately called. Colleen, you're now a Newfie. Um,
Well, not officially.
no. Officially.
No, no. Officially, what I mean by that is that to be a newfie or to be called a newfie, you have to be screeched in. So you have to do something where you drink, what them go? One shot, and then you kiss the cod, kiss the
Yeah,
fish. Yes. But
yeah,
it's not pretend, it's not a real fish. You just kiss a fish and then
yeah.
you're screeched in as a real newfie.
A real
So
Newfie. So there's quite a few Newfies here in Grand Prairie, and when I speak to them, they said that hey, there was not enough opportunities there, so a lot of persons left Newfoundland for other parts of Canada, British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, etc. So that left a chronic shortage in the province. But the province has started to develop because Newfoundland was one of those places that has the lowest minimum wage in all of Canada. But now you have a benchmark minimum wage where most provinces has the same minimum wage. So what that also means is that there's a lot of opportunities and not enough people to fill those opportunities. So that is why there are so many opportunities for new immigrants now to move to Newfoundland. So if it is that you guys are thinking of a place to move to, a province that will give you a foot in the door, um, Newfoundland is one of those places that you can continue, that you can consider. Sorry. Yes.
and it's not just
Alrighty.
Newfoundland, it's the four Atlantic provinces. Just in case you're like, oh, Newfoundland, no. But New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island are in the crew. So,
Are in that group. You guys are married together, those four provinces.
yes, we are. But bear in
Yes.
mind though, that they are different. It like for example, the Newfoundland has the list of designated employers. It was difficult for me to find one for New Brunswick. So that may
Hmm.
be a little bit different. Each province is different in so many ways.
Yes. And I think Nova Scotia has raised in popularity as well, especially for international students. So I think they are not quite as in demand for labor as Newfoundland. Just an opinion. Of
Okay.
course, there are statistics to prove this, but just from hindsight, a lot of international students have been going to Nova Scotia because Nova Scotia, what they had was the lowest school fee or some of the lowest school fee in Canada. So what happened was a lot of international students flocked to those places, to the Dartmouth, Halifax, the Cape Breton, all of these places in Nova Scotia. And then there's an influx of immigrants there. And New Brunswick is quickly following Nova Scotia in terms of popularity, but no one seems to be looking at Newfoundland, and I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Is it because it's too far?
I don't know, or maybe because it's not connected to Canada by land. Maybe because you can't drive from Newfoundland if you like it or not. You cannot drive. You have to take a plane or you have to take the ferry. You cannot connect to Newfoundland from anywhere in Canada by car.
By car. So you have
Yeah.
to take a ferry or fly, but doesn't matter.
Uh, I mean, like you can connect from Alberta to, you can spend how much days on a bus or in a
Yeah,
car and get to somewhere else.
yeah.
Can't do that. You're
Sometimes
surrounded by water.
convenient, but short-term pain, long-term gain, right?
Yep. Once you're here, you can do anything you want. And for the Atlantic Immigration Program as well, there is no you don't have to say, oh, when I come here as a permanent resident, I have to stay with the province for however long. That's with the provincial nominee program. With Atlantic Immigration, you're not committed, you're not
Hmm.
obligated to stay after you get your permanent residence unless you want to.
So you're not bound to the province.
At all. No. Once you have your PR, You can do with it whatever you want to do. You're a permanent resident now. You are free to go.
So what's stopping you from moving to Alberta?
Because I love it here, and I plan to come and stay here at least 4 years and see. I like
I'm
it
just
here.
I'm just messing
Don't
with you. So Basil is
I
asking
love
you an
it.
important question. Um, did you have to bring over proof to drink before kissing the catfish?
I did not do it yet. I was just told that's what I needed to do, Basil. So I didn't bring over anything. My friend just told me I'm gonna take you and we're gonna do it. That's
Yeah,
proof
you
enough.
should let me see. So I can, instead of calling you Colleen, I'll say Newfie Colleen.
No- Oh my god.
Right? Oh man. Oh, Jackie's asking me, can you apply for the rural and northern immigration pilot? Yes, you can, Jackie. It's very similar to the Atlantic immigration program and to the rural renewal stream program, where you have to look on the provincial website to see the designated communities and then find the designated employers, get a job offer, and then get an endorsement and then submit your application. It's very similar. And actually, I spoke to IRCC just a couple of weeks about this program, and they sent me over a long email detailing all the steps to this program. And when I looked at it, it's very same. So the rural and northern pilot program is specific to Ontario, to the northern and rural communities in Ontario, and that's for communities that has designation a part of the program 100,000 population or less, right? So you can apply for that program in or outside of Canada. Jeffrey says we also want to visit this month. Soon do vacation. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So those are some of the many ways. So as you guys know, I do start to connect with a lot of immigration consultants here. And what I've discovered is that there's over 100 direct ways that you can migrate to Canada. Migrating to Canada is not just limited to studying, marrying someone, being a spouse of someone. There's so many different ways that you can migrate to Canada. You can migrate to Canada through family reunification. You can migrate to Canada through a program that's called the Lonely Canadian. You can migrate to Canada through a stream that's called once you're a French speaking person, you can prove that you can speak French by doing the French exam, which is a self-pip version of French, or IEL test version of French, and you get a benchmark of at least 5. You then become LMIA exempt, and as long as you get a job offer, you can apply for your work permit. So those are some ways that you guys can look into. There's so many persons on the stream right now that speaks French fluently. If you can get a benchmark of at least 5, all you need to do is to apply for a job. Once you get that job, you are LMIA exempt, and then the employer, all they have to pay is they call it a compliance fee of $200 every year. That's it. That's it. Canada needs more French speaking people. So the French stream, there is a whole other stream, right? Anyways, with that being said, we're not immigration consultants, lawyer, affiliates, nothing of the sort. Everything we say here is based on research and based on experience. All right, what if you have a parent that is sick and they're on disability? Can you get an extension for that? Well, what I've come to realize, Stacey, is that you can get an extension for anything right now as long as you're able to explain and it makes sense, right? So if your parent is here and you are taking care of them, for example, that's a more than valid reason to submit an extension, right? Also, guys, please don't forget to smash that like button. We only have 18 likes, but we have close to 50 persons. I don't understand. If you guys are getting value, why won't you like the live? Won't you want to see more of these live? Why won't you like it? Why won't you subscribe and share the live? Why won't you support me? These are all free, right? Click on the link that's pinned to the chat as well. If it is that you guys want to come into the stream, you don't have to turn on your camera. You can come in, we can have a conversation about your journey if you're in Canada, or if you have a question, you can always feel free to come in, all right? Sue says, Dems, did you get a chance to find out about the humanitarian pathway that someone had mentioned they use? They came to light. Oh, that was the other night. I have not gotten a chance to talk to that person as yet, and I haven't gotten a chance to do any research on the humanitarian pathway as well. So as soon as I have more information, I will do a video on that 100%. In Canada now, finally got the visa. Been looking for a job, but it's hard. It's hard. But Vincent, where in Canada are you? And you know what? I'd love if it is that you could come into the stream without your camera, of course, if that makes you feel more comfortable, and share what your experience is like so far, trying to find a job on a visitor's visa so that other persons can understand exactly how it is from a factual point of view. That would probably make a lot of persons more knowledgeable. How easy is it to get a job from outside of Canada versus being inside? From my experience, when you're inside, it's a lot easier because you can connect with the employers more directly. Outside, you're a bit more limited. You're relying on the employer to get back to you, while here you can go to them. So I think that's the big difference. But it's not impossible outside, and not because you're here means that you're guaranteed. You're gonna have to put in the work regardless. Colleen, man, I forget you, I'm just not ignore the chat. You understand?
Yeah.
So now what I feel like you're
Mm.
gonna run. Okay. So relaxing nature and lifestyle says where in Canada can I find the employer list? Just go on the Newfoundland website. And you are able to see the designated jobs, right, Colleen?
Or you can just type in Google designated employers in Newfoundland, and it pulls up the website. Or you can go to IRCC website and you will see a list there somewhere in one of the things that it put. But easiest way, Google designated employers in Newfoundland.
Okay, perfect. So Vincent said, I'm in Ontario, sadly. Vincent, I still come into the stream. I'm not lying. I really want to chat with you for a little bit just to find out your experience. Again, you don't have to come out with your camera, so don't worry about that. Just to see what your experience is like so far, especially because you're in Ontario. Um, Aluma says, what if you have visiting visa? How do I get my work permit before leaving my country? If you have a visitor's, I'm not sure I understand that question. If you have a visitor's visa and you're in your home country, how can you get your work permit? You'd have to get a job. You'd have to get a job in Canada, LMIA, and then apply for your work permit, or another program like the AIP Rural Renewal Stream, etc. But having a visitor's visa or not having a visitor's visa doesn't really impact that unless you're in Canada. But from your question, I'm guessing you're not inside of Canada, so having a visitor's visa is kind of irrelevant for this particular case. Basil says, Dems, there are probably more Newfoundlands living outside of the province than those living there. A lot of internal migration. Catfishing was the mainstay, but it collapsed in the 90s. Yeah, there's a lot of Newfoundlands who are living, especially in Grand Prairie and in Alberta in general, and in other parts of Canada. But now there's the province is being developed. There's a lot more opportunities there. So it's a foot in the door. It's a foot in the door. I'm gonna visit in January, but with the intention of looking for a job, along with my husband. And Vincent doesn't want to come into the live right now. He says he's making breakfast. Vincent, it's Ontario. You're 2 hours ahead of me. It's now at least 2 o'clock in Ontario. You can't be making breakfast at after 2 in the afternoon. Right? I'm just calling it as it is. Vincent says maybe making breakfast, maybe next time. But you're in Ontario, it's 2:07. You're making lunch, my friend. You're making lunch, not breakfast. Yes, Colleen. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, and what's wrong with you? We good, we good. We can't
Oh
forget the
my
people
God.
that want to play there, no, please. We can't forget the people them in the chat. Come on.
Yeah, man. I think that, especially because you're not liking the live. I didn't want them to feel neglected. Because we only have 24 likes and 50 persons watching, so I have to pay them some attention. You know how it is. There's
And
a person.
somebody can come in, come say something, and me hear no voice, no please and thanks.
No, everyone is shy. Vincent wants advice, but he doesn't want to share his journey. Everyone is just here to get. No one is here to share. That's how it is, Colleen. Not everybody's willing to share.
All right. All right.
So
Let's
and
get back to
yes,
you
I am
now.
not here, and when I'm at the border 3 times before, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm totally misread that. So Saniki says, I am in Ontario. I went at the border. Sorry, I think that should be I went to the border 3 times, but did not get through. Um, would you like to share what happened? Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you weren't. I went to apply for an open work permit. I'm not sure why you were not approved, etc., etc., etc. But we can have a conversation around it, of course. Um, Jackie says, "What is your advice on going to Ontario with a visitor's visa looking for LMIA job?" That's what I'm trying to find out, Jackie. I have no personal experience in that. I'm trying to get someone who is currently in that process to come into the stream, but they're not willing to. So at this moment in time, I don't know what to say. I have no experience in that. Colleen, did the employer assisted you in finding an apartment, or did they provide accommodation?
Well, my employer was or is smart. So what she did was she bought a house which was 3 minutes walk from the center. She also has two apartments above the center, so she rents that out to international workers. So she'll rent like in the big house, she rents one room per person. So there were 5 rooms, so you rent one room. So that's what I did. I rented a room from her for a few weeks. And as soon as I landed, I started looking, well, before I landed, I started looking for accommodation for my family on Facebook Marketplace. So I moved in on the 1st of May and I left on the 29th of May. So that's what I did. She did have accommodation and she does have for all her international workers.
That's
But you have
good.
to
That's and a lot of places as well. They do assist with finding accommodation, so that's good.
yeah.
So Basil is educating us, guys. Basil says Newfoundland, the second largest oil producer offshore in Canada. After which province? The number one province, of course, Alberta. Oh, hydropower is another large resource. I
That's
had to.
still doing history doing my office it.
Oh, Basil's Foundation.
Yeah,
Basil
history.
Foundation.
They talk about the selfish something from
Yeah,
Newfoundland to Jamaica. Yeah.
Basil lives in Northern Ontario,
Yeah.
and Basil loves this province 100%.
Mm.
Still doesn't like when I call out his province, but that's okay. We're still friends. Oh my God. Stacey says, well, I am in London, Ontario, trying to find a job as well, but I have family this side going somewhere else. I'm going to have to find rent money, etc. Nikisha Dawson says, hi, Colleen, hi, Dems, hi, Nikisha, good to see you. Hello, haven't caught alive in a while. Erica Hall, thank you for being here. And thank you to all the other persons who are here as well. I know it's the middle of the day. I am not at work today because today is being observed as the day of reconciliation and truth. And it was actually Saturday, but it's observed today. So the banks are closed, government offices are closed, but in Alberta, a lot of schools, well, all the schools are still open. Most of the private employers are still open. Like Nancy's at work, the kids are at school, whatever, and I am home. No complaints on my end. But in Newfoundland, everybody is home. There's no school, there's no
Not
work.
everybody.
Not everybody. Well, apart from the fast food restaurants and stuff.
And some other businesses, but schools are closed, banks are closed, and all that. Yeah,
Oh, the only difference is there that the schools are closed.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, the schools are. I was very shocked to find out that there's school today, actually. So
Oh,
it's like different province.
Nikisha, what you up to? Come on in the chat, girl. Come on in the voice, something, something, girl.
Who are you calling out?
Nikisha, what
Oh,
she's up. We want to know what she's up to.
Nikisha. Yeah, the link is pinned in the comments. That little link right up top. Click on it. You don't have to come on with your camera. Come in. Let's have a conversation. Let's find out what's going on. Tamoya says, I just tuned in, Colleen. What type of job did you got? She's an early childhood educator. Was it LMIA? No, it's under the Atlantic Immigration Program. And did you apply from outside of Canada? Yes, 150%. Relaxing Nature Lifestyle says, in BC, I'm home too. Dwight says, most people are at home in Nova Scotia as well. School closed for today. Yeah.
See?
So it's an Atlantic province thing.
Yeah, so the Atlantic provinces are winning with the holidays.
I can see that. It's very hard for me to dispute that because Nat is at work. I had to take Malika to school this morning. I had to go and pick her up though because she's not feeling well. So they called me like an hour and a half after, and I'm like, okay. I went and I got her, so she's in the other room with her cousin and stuff. But it is what it is. So Basil goes again educated me. Dems, I moved to Southern Ontario many years ago. I live in Markham, Ontario, approximately 30 minutes from downtown Toronto. So Basil, Basil is probably at work. But if you're not at work, Basil, let us hear your voice. Let's have a conversation because as it is now, not many people wants to move to Ontario. I know that Ontario is not just the GTA, it's not just Toronto, Markham, for example. Many northern, what's it called? Thunder Bay, lots of places that there's a lot of opportunities. But the province itself, many people are avoiding the province. Come and defend the province, Basil. Come and defend the province. Oh, Nikisha is at work.
Okay.
And Sue said, if you have worked 5 years, what route would you suggest we use to Canada? Since the AIP you have been to be working within 5 years, and the rural renewal scheme is even less. So, the only other way is if you get a job offer underneath LMIA or a student, right? So if it is to get an LMIA job offer, there is no requirement for you to have worked within a respective timeline or not. So you can look into finding an LMIA job or a student. Unfortunately, most of the programs require experience, recent experience, for you to be qualified. Unfortunately, if you're going to look on the express entry, if you're trying to use a specific route for provincial nomination, it's definitely going to be needed. So LMIA or a study route might be a good option to explore, in my opinion. I don't know. You might want to pay for a consultation to see if the persons who are actually trained have something better to say outside of my sometimes limited knowledge. So, Basil, you are actually home sitting on your porch, my friend. That's what you said. So, is that a openness to come into the stream? Please click on the link. Come on, you don't have to share your camera. You can turn it off, and we can have a chat. All right. And Jackie says, I love Ontario. Visited in July. We're in Ontario. Real JS says raining here in Saskatoon. Whew. Well, it's not raining outside, but it's a little bit chilly. Um, Sue says, thanks them. Shani says, I am an hour and a half from downtown Toronto, I think, because it can be downtown Ontario. So I think you meant downtown Toronto. Okay. Yes, Colleen. We are fully caught up with it. We're fully caught up with it. You and me, our conversation.
Jackie, I love Ontario. Visited in July. I visited Ontario and I loved it too, but not to live. That's
Not
all.
to live.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I like it, and I like that even in Toronto, you have a lot of Jamaican jerk stuff. You have things where you can get Jamaican easier than even in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
You have a few supermarkets here like Dominion and Sobeys where you can get the Jamaican coconut milk in the tin or the other one, the packet. And you can get the all-purpose seasoning, stuff like that. There's a small aisle in the
Yeah.
international aisle with Jamaican stuff. So it's easier to get Jamaican in Toronto than it is
And,
here.
And also there, I can see why people are. But first thing, I want to caution people again. Ontario is not just Toronto. Ontario is not just Brampton. Ontario is not just Mississauga. Ontario is not just Brantford. It's not just Hamilton, London, Kingston, none of those places.
Mm.
Ontario is very big. It's
Yep,
very large. There are so many places that you have never heard of before. That there's lots of opportunities there. That the housing crisis is not
that's bad.
bad. Where there's
Like
tons of
Sudbury. Sudbury.
Sudbury, Oshawa,
Yeah,
even more. There's so many places. So many places. But the only way you can know of these places is by doing your research.
yep,
Don't be afraid to do your research, guys. I think there's a hesitancy to do research. Basil, I'm trying to add you to the stream, Basil, but I don't know. It seems like it's not connecting properly. I'm not sure why. Um, yeah. So so many places, but people are afraid, are not willing to do the research that is needed to find out all the information. Because, to be frank, it can be seen as overwhelming.
yeah.
But you have to do what you have to do. You have to do what you have to do. Basil was trying to join the stream just now, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened. It didn't really work out. So if you want to try again, Basil, that would be fantastic. And guys, if you're here with us today and chilling, learning, educating each other, please smash that like button. Please share the live. Please comment and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I really, really, really appreciate it. That's a very free and easy way you guys can support our channel. That's a very free and easy way you guys can support me and keep it going, right? Without, if you guys don't like the live, it's not really, it doesn't go far. It doesn't go anywhere. So please, if you are getting value and you're here, if you like the live, like the live. Okay. Jackie says she was staying in Brampton. Suku says Toronto. Jackie says it's a beautiful place. Vincent Robbins says I just came here and wouldn't live here. Started applying for LMIA jobs in Alberta. Real JS,
Grandparents.
presently 5 degrees here in Saskatoon. It's getting cold.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's the same here. It's the same here, Colleen.
No, well, it's like 15 degrees outside now. We just got hung on two jacket out there to catch the local sun.
Oh, like this morning when I was outside doing that live, it was plus 3 degrees.
No. Well,
Yeah.
I think Alberta is colder than here then.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, Alberta is one of the coldest provinces. It's pretty cold. It gets pretty cold. It
Okay,
gets pretty
well,
cold.
someday I'll enjoy it over here then.
But it's a different type of cold because you guys got the ocean, so you guys have more humidity. So when it's cold, so probably 10 degrees there might feels like 5 degrees here
Mm.
because it's wet. It's that wet
Yep.
cold goes straight through your skin. But here it's more dry. So
Oh,
once you bundle up, kind of good to go.
well, I'll enjoy it while it lasts then.
Yeah. When my husband came up on his visa, he did cash jobs while sending out applications to a lot of places. That's Sanike. Love your program from Nigeria. Thank you so much. Big up yourself. Colleen, how much for a 2 bedroom in Newfoundland and Labrador?
You could get a two-bedroom for about $1,000 to $1,200. You might find it for more certain places,
Yeah.
depending on how the house is and so forth, but average would be 1,000 to 1,200.
And that's not bad. That's pretty decent.
Right.
15 degrees in British Columbia. Most people don't want to do the farmer program, and some of them offer LMIA. Dwight says, wow, 19 degrees in Nova Scotia.
Ooh,
Listen,
I like.
you guys can keep your good weather. You guys can keep your sunshine. I'm okay. And I'm not trying to even be bad mind. but I'm okay with our minus 10 degrees. Can you see that I'm being sarcastic?
Mhm. Straight up.
Colleen is 20 minutes outside of St. John. Latisha wanted to know if you're in St. John. Dwight, come into the stream, Dwight. Let's talk about accommodation a little bit in Nova Scotia. Erica All wants to know. You're home, Dwight. You know the drill. Come into the stream, my bro. Saniki says, I am in Cambridge. I paid 2,000 G for a 2 bedroom.
What?
I had to read it very slowly. So she's in Cambridge and she pays 2,000 Canadian dollars per month for a 2 bedroom.
Where's Cambridge?
I'm pretty sure it's in Ontario.
2,000?
2,000. But still, it's not allowing me. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to add you to the stream.
That's what I want to hear from you. Come on, Bessel.
No, but still is trying to join it, but it's not allowing me to add him to the stream. I'm
I
not.
think
not
you make something else try and we'll see.
Yeah, let Dwight try. Dwight is gonna be trying very soon, I'm sure. Um, let's see if this work because Basil has been trying to come into the stream and it's not allowing me to add him. I'm not sure what's going on, so I just want somebody else to try to get into the stream, and then let's see if it's a Basil connection issue or if it's a stream issue. Let's figure that part out. But like that's so expensive. $2,000 can get me a 5 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, entire house.
House. All right. What is
Yeah,
that though? Is that a house or is that an apartment, a condo?
but even if it's a 2 bedroom house, that's too expensive.
Shit.
Right? Even if it's a 2 bedroom house, it's too expensive.
Yeah, that would be like a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom complete house here.
Yeah, and
And it's like less than that still, even with that.
like for $1,800, we could get a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, kitchen, living, dining, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so expensive. That is so expensive, but I mean, it goes to show that it really matters where you go.
But then again, she must be, well, you must have jobs that, because it should balance out where you earn enough to pay that. Like $2,000 would be
Not
okay to.
necessarily because
Mhm.
not necessarily because I know persons who moved from Grand Prairie, Alberta to different parts of Ontario where the
Mhm.
rent is very expensive and they're earning less than what they would earn in Ontario in Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Dwight, welcome to the stream, my bro. Well, go on.
What's up? What's up? I'm here, man.
Yeah,
Hi,
thank you
Colleen.
for coming in, man.
Hi,
Because
Dwight.
I wanted to see if the stream is working or if Basil connection is off. Basil,
Colleen, you have to
Basil is
team up on them, Tell him that Atlantic is the place. You have to team up on him now.
We have to, like, I'm so glad you came in here, buddy. We have a team up and making notes and do that over here so it can go on. Come on.
so Dwight is in Nova Scotia in case you guys don't know where Dwight is. So it's not gonna work. Let me just say that but I manage it still, but um you guys can give it your best shot.
What in Nova Scotia are you, Dwight?
I'm in Dartmouth.
Oh, I have a cousin who recently come up and well, he was in Dartmouth, but I think, what's the name of the place? Kentville? Is that close to Dartmouth?
No, that's a couple hours out.
Yeah, he was in Dartmouth and then he went to Kent.
Uh
Okay.
Dwight, Shirley's at work today?
No, actually, no, She
So it's
home, but she in a different part of the house.
uh, but she had to sleep.
No, actually, she dep on her phone.
Hey, tell Shirley to link up in them, man.
Me come around here and tell her, say, me have to study because I have a test tomorrow.
Oh man. So anyways, guys, quick introduction. Dwight, he came on our last calling show, but we've been talking to Dwight now for over a year now, brother. Around a year and a half now. Um,
Yeah,
Dwight
maybe.
is a Jamaican who migrated to Nova Scotia. He's an international student. His wife has a spousal open work permit. Dwight, quickly.
Yeah.
Um, what was your journey like applying for your study permit, and did you use a consultant?
First, no, we didn't use a consultant. That would have been too expensive for us at the time. Um, the journey itself, it was it was challenging a bit because you have to be preparing for like a year before, given that like you have to apply for school this fall if you want to go to school next fall. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the first process. I actually applied for three schools. This is a funny story because I applied for New Brunswick Community College, Nova Scotia Community College, and a college in Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
So it so happened when I applied for the school for both schools in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, I was put on a wait list up till December. When I phoned the school, I asked them how long, where am I on the wait list? They tell me like 25. That was where the panic came. Like 25 down, that's I'm not gonna get a call.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia Community College, they never had like you placed on a number placed on the wait list. So it was a bit challenging coming up in January. We were now panicking like we still haven't got to school and it was ridiculous at that time. So now Demar was like, come and just try Alberta. But doing our research, Alberta was kind of out of our budget because it will cost a lot more to upfront cost was more, right? So at the time we had to be looking for the lower upfront cost, which was in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. So it happened that on the day now when I actually applied for the school in Alberta, I got my acceptance letter like 3 hours after from Nova Scotia College. And I couldn't get a refund on my application fee for Alberta. So that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a major challenge I would say, applying for the visa. When I actually applied for the visa, I I think I got approved in like 3 weeks. At the time it was saying 10 weeks, but I got through in 3 weeks. So at this time now I'm like, yo, this is good. So I actually got through like early May. And I'm like, yes, we have time to apply now for my wife and my daughter. So we'll get through by the time I'm ready to go. But it didn't work out that way. Yes. So after applying and I got through and stuff, I applied for my wife and child. Little after that, now they extend the time for processing work permit to like 10 weeks. So like, yeah, 10 weeks we still have time. It actually took 6 months, guys. They didn't come until December.
Yeah, and I'm gonna jump in right there and say, Dwight, I wish Shelly was here because I remember that time it was a lot of back and forth calling between Shelly and I and just encouraging her because she felt like just giving up because being you guys end up being separated and it was tough,
Yeah,
right?
definitely not easy.
So, from your point of view, how did you manage that part?
It was really difficult, Lens, because like me and my wife we spend the last maybe 6, 7 years together, like every day. So it was difficult, and then for being separated from my daughter, that was definitely not easy. And doing all of that, coming here, not knowing anyone, trying to figure out stuff by yourself, starting school. I haven't been to school in maybe 10, 12 years. So that was a challenge again. So just balancing everything, it wasn't easy. I would say it wasn't easy, but I've learned a lot in that time, and that's the way that it was supposed to go. And I'm happy that we've been through that, and we're all here right now.
Yes. Now, Dwight, what is your wife? What if your wife had a visitor visa? Would she be able to come until she get the? Yeah, she would be. She would be able to even get it at the border, but she didn't have a visa, so that part was why she had to wait. Now, talk to me about school, Dwight. You've been to school in Jamaica. I know you've been to school in Canada. What would you say is any similarities and the differences?
I think the similarities would be kind of unfair from my point of view because I've never been to college in Jamaica. So my first college experience is here. But like
They don't have a
using my
PhD.
daughter for example,
They don't have a master's. They don't have a PhD.
none of them even
But
have
they
nothing
are
about CXC,
thing there. Only CXC.
all
So
CXC.
for persons who are thinking that they need a master's or they need a bachelor's or they need
Actually, you only needed English and maths, and I think they needed like three subjects to apply for school here.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But anyways, what are the differences between this like school in here and there, based on your experience, pretty much?
Um, I would say that here in college, I get a lot of support from the teachers. They try actually to make you. They try to give you as much information as possible. Because really and truly, they don't want you to fail. So they try their best to make sure that you're on point. You understand everything. They're open to conversations. You can text, email them about anything that you're not understanding. So in that sense, I think it's a bit more comforting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess our culture, though, it's just different. In our culture, we are like fast paced. We expect you to understand something at one go,
Mm-hmm.
and
Who get
I think that's the
it?
major difference there.
Yeah, in Jamaica, who get it, and who don't get it, just
Yeah, and then school. I have a lot of persons like they're free to ask. Like if they don't understand something, they're not just going to like ask you anything.
yeah.
But but in school, for say, like it's more quiet. Like the teacher had asked something, no one answers, even though everybody know the answer. Like the interaction in some classes can be a bit strange, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just the way of their culture here, I guess. But school is good. School is okay.
And I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience as usual, Dwight. Because this is how we all learn. This is how other persons learn as well. And even myself, I did not have any other qualification outside of CXCs before coming to Canada. And when I tell people this all the time, they always find it fascinating because I don't know why people assume that I have a master's. Guys, I do not. I don't know why people assume that. You get what I mean? I
Yeah,
live in Jamaica. I've never traveled before traveling to Canada. Um, I only had CXCs. I started community college, but never finished in Jamaica, and I did a diploma here in Canada. That's
yeah,
what I didn't do a bachelor's. Persons just assuming texting me or messaging me, hey, what type of post graduation program did you do? I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I did a diploma in business administration. That's what I did, guys.
yeah.
So
Same here.
So it's very possible. You just have to make sure that you're qualified or you meet the prerequisite of the program you're applying for, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that, so somebody wants to ask. I'll rephrase the question. The person says, "How much fund?" Sorry, person says, "I do it. How did you come up with the funds for school?" But that's a bit personal. But instead, I'll ask you, how much funds did you show when applying for your permit?
Um, I showed about it was last year, so I don't remember the exact figure. To be honest, I'd have to maybe check by the documents.
Well,
But I know I paid my school fee, right? And I showed up to 1 year living expenses. So that was like about maybe close to 3 million in Jamaican.
okay. And did you get a brand new bank statement with additional funds to apply for your wife and daughter, or was it the
No,
same?
there was the same bank statement that we use. So the same bank statement I use for my application, the same bank statement I use for theirs.
That's what I did too. That's what I
Yeah,
did. What would you say, if you had to name that one thing? Of course, we have no idea if this is accurate or not, but
yeah.
if you had to name that one thing that contributed to your success, um, what would you name that one thing on in terms of the application process? What did you do or didn't do that you think contributed to you being approved?
Um, your letter of explanation, that is the key, I think. Letter of explanation, you have to like lay out every single thing in details in that letter. I think that makes a difference. That and maybe the financial part of it as well, because I've known people who didn't pay school fee and still gotten through. So I guess is how they explain all of that in their letter to bring it so that the whoever overseeing the document can understand exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that is the most important part of the application process.
And I agree 100%. Somebody wants to know the account that you used, was it joint with your wife or just in your name?
So actually, I used three different accounts. So I use a personal one for mine, a personal one for my wife, and a joint account.
Joint account. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but persons do it with one account. Person do it showing the money for themselves alone. So it's not there's not one specific way to do it. Basically, I've known people who are married and don't have a joint account, and
yeah.
they still use their personal account to get through.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not one size fit all. Just try to explain anything that you're going to show. Explain. Remember that it doesn't have to be cash per se. It can be an asset, any other asset you have. You can explain that in your explanation of in your letter. Maybe you own a land, maybe you have a couple cars, I don't know. Things
Hmm.
that can be liquidated quickly, you can show them all of that.
Okay. Fantastic. Now, you guys are here in well, not here, but they're in Nova Scotia. Colleen, I'm gonna bring you back in the conversation now to make sure that you're still awake. But the provinces Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, they're a part of the Atlantic provinces, of course. But what I want to know, Dwight, is do you see yourself leaving Nova Scotia for probably another Atlantic province or anywhere else? And then, Colleen, I want you to tell Dwight why he should leave Nova Scotia for Newfoundland afterwards.
Are you
Pretty
able
much
to
right
tell
now,
me?
pretty much right now, I'm okay in Nova
Sorry.
Scotia. Um, I haven't visited any other province as yet, but we plan to do so in the near future. Um, but in the Atlantic, it's nice, it's calm, the people are friendly here. Um, we have everything that we need over here as well. I guess we have Jamaican stores, Jamaican restaurants. We have a lot of things over here, then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that I would not say that I won't like try to go to other provinces to see the differences. But for now, I think I will be settling right here.
Yeah. Colleen,
For now.
Present.
Colleen, it sounds like Dwight when you moved to Nova Scotia.
I was thinking about it, but when I hear them host president, jeez, the rent
Colleen, I
in
can't beat
Nova
on the
Scotia
place like
has
that, you know.
gone up. The rent in Nova Scotia has gone up. I'm like, you know what? I think Newfoundland would be better for you, Dwight, because you're going to school. Yes, you need to do your time, but with those house prices going up, you gotta come over here, man. Come on over.
Dwight, that's a good case. That's a good case,
It's
brother.
a good case, you know. But what I would say to that is, eventually, in my opinion, eventually we'll all get somewhat close to that rent that we're paying over here. So it will get there. Hopefully not for you for your guys' sake. Hopefully not. But I must agree that it's expensive. It's expensive over here with rent. Um, it wasn't like this before COVID because we did a lot of research before we came here, and it definitely wasn't like what it is right now. So I guess, in my opinion, I guess that people came from other provinces and bought up a lot of properties, and they are not living in the provinces now, so they just rent it for whatever price they feel.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on here.
2 bedroom though, like ballpark.
It depends because all right, so if you're living in the HRM area, which is consists of Bedford, Dartmouth, or Halifax, if you go like I would say Dartmouth is like the cheaper part of those three. In Halifax, definitely you'll be paying more. Bedford maybe a bit more than Halifax as well. So in Dartmouth here, you can get a 2 bedroom for like maybe 1,500 now,
Okay.
right? In Halifax, it might go up to about 18. Halifax and Bedford about the same amount for a two
Oh,
bedroom.
and that's an average
But
price.
if you really look, you might can find a 2 bedroom for like 1,003 over Dartmouth side. I highly doubt it in Halifax.
Mhm. Okay, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad comparing with a lot of other a lot of places.
Apart from the housing prices being expensive, though, do you find that the cost of living is pretty affordable otherwise? Grocery.
I think cost of living here will be more expensive as well because in Nova Scotia, I think we pay like the third highest tax in the country. So actually, HST is like 15% over here.
Same
Yeah.
over here too, by the way. It's
Mm,
terrible, the taxes.
yeah. So compared to like Alberta, you pay like 5% or 7%, something thereabout. We pay like 15% on that. Our provincial taxes as well and salary is a bit more than every other province as well. So you actually get more, you get less out of your pay here than what you will get, say, in Alberta.
So why would you stay there? Just asking. Just be the pessimist. What?
Because life is not just about money. Money is very important, but it also have to do with comfort. Where what do you like as a person, the type of environment that you want to be in as well. I think the weather have a lot to do with it as well. I've been through my first winter and we had it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. It was actually one of the best winter here. And I think that the weather here is a bit different and it's better. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that could be a trade-off because not everyone can manage the cold to a
Mm-hmm.
certain degree. So some people would have that as a trade-off, I guess.
Gotcha. Well, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a whole lot of sense because why would I want to pay 15% GST when I can pay 5% sales tax in
Yeah.
Alberta? But I understand, 100% understand. And I'm guessing, Colleen, is the same thing why you would stay in Newfoundland because that's home. That's where you have settled. That's where your family is being nested. So because of that, it's home and it gives you that peace of mind that you're looking for. So I do get it. But I would really like I've been speaking to both of you guys now, like, and many other people virtually for a long time. And we all just need to connect, man. Where are we going to be connecting?
Um, we all need to connect, but I can't say where. You have to come to Halifax, them man.
Yeah, I got no from Newfoundland. I mean, I can go to Halifax. I can meet you up there on
Yeah.
a 6 hour boat ride. But yeah,
And an hour?
6 hours boat ride. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I think the ferry is about 6 to 8 hours.
Yes, them we
But I
actually
think
have
you can
ferry.
manage to one. So,
You can take the ferry to go to different places, them. We don't have
yeah.
to like drive
We
everywhere.
don't got that here.
Yeah.
We, we only get frozen seafood here. We got no ocean or anything like that. We have lakes,
Yeah.
but so that's that. But enough respect, Dwight. Appreciate it 100%. Um, you don't know anything said. I would talk to Shelly, but when she's done, hopefully she can jump on and we can have a chat if we're still here. But we're gonna be going on for like another 10 or so minutes anyway. So enough respect, alright, bro.
Yes, them. Give thanks. All right,
Yeah.
Colleen.
all right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So current Parkinson says, "Thank you, Dems. You are the best. Blessings. Thank you so much. You are the best. I appreciate that. I am thanking you, even though you are thanking me. Thank you so much." Um, Erica also says, "How long is your program?" Dwight is doing a 2-year program, similar to what I did. Jackie says, "Was it a joint account?" Oh, I think we dealt with that one already. It was 3 different accounts. Tamoya Eno says, "I was thinking of going the school route in either New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, but I'm finding it difficult to come up with the funds. So I would prefer to find a job and take that route." Relaxing Nature says, "And someone else can sponsor you too financially." Exactly. Cost of living, Dwight. I think we chatted a little bit about that. Real JS says, "Michael, Saskatoon, we pay 1,400 for our 3-bedroom, 1 bath, living room, good size dining." See, there are provinces that really live in La Vida Loca. Colleen, Alisa says, "Tips on landing a job from outside the country." It's gonna be tough because there's a lot of persons who are here in Canada with visitors looking for job offers, and those I don't think I don't think they are able to cover everywhere in Canada, but from what I've seen, it's becoming more limited from outside of Canada. But it all depends on finding that employer who is willing to take that risk to help you get here. It all starts with finding an employer, right? Colleen, you mentioned that early childhood educators are in demand in Newfoundland. Um, for example, the school that you're working right now, we're not gonna call it by name, of course, but just to use it as an example, is that school taking on anybody else?
Well, at this time, they're not because we have a lot of international workers that they recently took on. So half the staff are international workers right now. And there are about 5 centers that we have. So what they're doing or what they have done is take on international workers to cover that shortage. Well, for
Mhm.
now, we have enough international workers that are going to be staying for a while. So,
And I asked that specifically to see if there's other opportunities for early childhood educators outside of your school. Because chances are, if your school is full, it may mean that other schools are also full.
well, the thing about it is, we've had, so like I said, we have half of our present staff that's international, the other half is Canadian. We've had about 5 persons that left from our center to other centers, and the other centers are crying out for workers. That's how I know as well on the ground, being on the ground, that the ECEs are short. And people, Canadians, have told me this, that as soon as an EC is available, there's no, like, everybody wants you. Everybody wants. Like, it's just so short. Everybody wants. As soon as you quit, oh, this one leaving this one
Yeah,
because something was said and I don't like it, or something of the sort. And they're
yeah.
like, you know what? And if it's too far out for that person, you know what? I'm going to a closer center, stuff like that. So yeah,
This
they're crying
thing.
out.
So it all depends in just almost just don't try just one place. Try as many places as you can and don't give
Yes,
up.
nope, don't give up. Definitely not. That's not a word that I use anymore. Give up? No,
No
that's
way,
not
no
the
how.
English word to me.
Yeah. So Basil is educating us as again. Basil, I'm telling you, my friend, I don't know what's happening with the stream. I see you tried to get in a couple times, but it's not allowing me to add. Sebastian says Alberta and the 3 territories are the only places in Canada without a provincial or territorial tax. The 5% tax is a federal tax. Any tax above 5% is provincial.
Okay.
Cheryl Johnson says, Dems, I like how you keep up with the Jamaican and don't meet them yet. I love the Jamaican spirit. Well, it's all dependent on I would say the energy. It's all about energy. And like-minded people will find a way to connect one way or the other. So that's what I
Yes.
say, right? Right mindset is key. 95% mindset, 5% financial. It's all about the mindset that you come with. What are you trying to achieve? Begin with the end in mind. At first, it might be tough, but don't let that deter you because it's just a means to an end. You begin with the end in mind, and then that will be your motivation to continue because there are going to be days in your initial stage when you are wondering, does this make sense? Why am I left my yard come here so? What am I doing? But at the end of the day, when you look on the end result that you're trying to get for yourself, for your family, it motivates you to keep going on. And that's what I would say. Begin with the end in mind and don't give up. There are many different ways to migrate to Canada. LMIA, Rural Renewal Stream, Atlantic Immigration Program, Northern and Rural Immigration Program. There's so many programs. Many programs. Find one, do your research, and go with it. That's what I would say. Don't share your dreams with negative people because negative people give you negative energy and kill your dream. Share your dream with persons who can motivate you, inspire you, and even help you along your journey. If they can't help you or motivate or guide you on your process, you have no business sharing your dream with them. If somebody can't do something themselves, they'll say that you can't do it either. If somebody has done it and it didn't work for them, they'll tell you that you can't do it either. Everybody's journey is different. You have to look at it like a fingerprint. My journey is not your journey. You can use it for example as guidance to make sure that you have a better journey. But at the end of the day, what works for me is not guaranteed to work for you. You have to find what works for you. That's what I would say. Colleen, thank you so much for spending your day with me. I appreciate it 150%. Always a pleasure talking with you. And you know what? You're just so open to sharing your journey. And I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you for being my platform for sharing my journey because, of course, I'm not that technological girl who's going to have a YouTube channel. But I'm trying to find a way to share all that I can. And yes, I really want to share my journey with people so that whomever is willing and ready to try it, they can try it. It's not just for me. Canada is not just for me. Newfoundland is not just for me. It's for whomever will come. And there's a lot of space over here for all of us. So I'm just making sure that I share with other people so that they can join us. Because we have a big Jamaican community in Newfoundland, but it can be bigger. So I'm just going to share it because somebody shared it with me about this program, and I'm trying to share with as many persons as possible. Because it's a way into Canada. You don't have to like Newfoundland. You don't have to want to stay here. You want to come to Canada, it's a way in. So I'm
It's a
just sharing as much as I can. So all who wants to hear and try something can come. So
that
it's my
that
pleasure.
there's no other better way to put it. Guys, check out all the links in the video description if you want to connect with me on a one-on-one basis. You can click on the calendar link. You can schedule a time. We do one-on-one. We do help with your letter of explanation, resume writing, career coaching, and many other different services. Click on the video description, see Calendly, and that's your best way of connecting. We're not immigration consultants, lawyer, affiliates, anything of the sort. But what we have is real life experience and tons of research. Follow us on our platform, Instagram The Andersons, Facebook The Andersons, TikTok The Andersons, Instagram The Andersons Originals, Facebook The Andersons, TikTok The Andersons, and of course on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Before you leave, guys, if you haven't given the live a thumbs up as yet, just take a second, give the live a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Give us a subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and most importantly, share the live so that other persons can be informed as well. Don't keep the information for yourself. Share it to other persons so that they can also benefit from it as well. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, a fantastic morning, a fantastic night, evening, depending on what time you guys are watching this video. You guys are from a multiplicity of time zone. So big up on yourself. Thank you guys so much. Again, thank you, Dwight, for coming on. Appreciate you. Big up to Shelly in the background as well. And most importantly, Colleen, I appreciate you. And I'll leave the final word for you.
I'm sorry, you said something final.
I'll leave the final word for you.
You want me to pronounce the benediction? I just want to say that I'm appreciative of you, Dems, for having me, and appreciative of you sharing as well with our people from Jamaica, Nigeria, Bahamas, all over the globe. And I want to thank all the persons that are on the live because I'm like, well, these people are at work and people are on the live. So I'm just appreciative of this community, the Andersons. I'm really appreciative of you. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but I am appreciative of you and I'm thankful for the platform that you have made for yourself and your family and for us all to share as much as we can. So, people, when you're ready, link up Dems. You want to come Newfoundland, link up Dems so he can link with me and we will link with each other. And just to say, Dems, there is this person that came to Newfoundland about a month ago. September, she started college in St. John's, and she was one that was on your channel, and we're friends right now. So thank you. See, the link is live. So
Is,
she's friends with me. We're friends with each other. We link up. I mean, we don't physically link up yet, but we talk
is
on
that
the phone and
Omoy or
stuff. Huh?
is that Omoy?
It's not a boy. It's somebody in St. John's, Newfoundland that recently came in September.
Oh, I don't know who it
Yeah.
is. I was saying that if
You
it's
don't
Omoy,
know who it is.
not
Neither
come.
do I. I know the name of the person. I know the person. I found this person on um the Andersons. So just to say that the Andersons are going on with things in Newfoundland as well.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can connect next year. I'm planning to come to some Atlantic provinces next year. I'm not sure if I'll be able to go everywhere. I'm trying to get persons to put me up and my family. We don't eat much. I promise you, we don't eat much, but we're looking for some places to catch. So if you're live and you can put us up next year for a couple of days, that would be fantastic. Anyways, Colleen, see,
We're in Jamaica. We can't catch anywhere. Know yourself.
see you guys in the next live. And thank you, Colleen. We're going to clock out right now. All right.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.